Hello everyone and welcome to another vlog. This is Wang and hi. So today it's something new for me kasi first time ko mag-sit down vlog. It's different from my usual travel, yung mga occasional vlog, and then we will talk in Bisaya, English, Tagalog, para at least yung mga Tagalog they can also watch this vlog if they need to. So yun. For today's video, I will be sharing to you my interview questions. If you want to know what questions I got from my interview, so please keep on watching. So before we start, I just want to share that since I am a community health nurse, NDP, hi sa mga NDP here sa Cebu, here in Cebu City, yung employer na nakuha ko din is also community healthcare in the UK. Yes, I will be working as a community health nurse still in the UK soon, very soon. So, and here's what I got sa mga interview questions. Sige, let's start! Let's begin! Question number 1 was, tell me about yourself and your career to date. What things do you do in a day? The first question, what I answered was, I work as a community health nurse for 5 years. And then I also mentioned na meron tayong routine na mga ginagawa sa community health nurse here in the Philippines, like yung immunization, prenatal care, and the regular consultations. I also mentioned that we are the first people to call to whenever there are accidents in our community. Like, for example, there are falls, burns, or if may manganganak, so we are the ones who run and help them. Question number 2. For question number 2, why do you want to come to UK to work as a nurse? And I will share to you my answer. Kasi yung agent ko, again, she suggested na to answer this question, i-incorporate ko daw yung 6 C's ng NMC. So, ito yung answer ko. It has been my dream and I trust the UK because of its 6 core values, which are compassion, commitment, care, communication, competence, and courage. And I believe that with these core values, I will be able to deliver my skills to the highest standards. I am also very excited to be working in a new environment because I know I will be working with experts and that would help me grow in my career. So yun, ganun ko in-incorporate yung 6 C's sa sagot ko sa question number 2. So it's up to you also. Make sure na ma-mention nyo din yung 6 C's kasi yun ang isang hinahanap nila na sagot mo doon sa question number 2. Question number 3. So for starting sa question number 3 until question number 10, actually they mentioned that they have 10 questions for me. And then for number 3 up to 10, yung questions are situational na. So, yung anong mga gagawin mo if ever this happens, like this. Before I went through the final interview, we had an initial interview din sa yung agent na nag-assist ko. And then they gave us topics that we need to review para maging handa sa mga question. So, number 3, question was, initial assessment of patient during admission is essential. Can you tell us what nursing assessment would you include while doing your initial assessment? So for my answer in question number 3, I mentioned that we need to take the vital signs and then the main reason why they went to the center, then check for subjective and objective data, and then what I see physically, like yung skin color nila, etc. And then also include medical and familial history. So number 4. Can you give an example of when a patient in your care deteriorated? And then, what were your actions? So, nag-give ako na example. I'm not gonna mention na lang my example. Make sure you answer or you include the ABCDE method. Airway, breathing, circulation, disability, and exposure. So I mentioned the ABCDE with yung anong mga gagawin sa doon sa ABCDE. So for example, sa airway, so check for obstructions. Sa breathing, yung seesaw sign. Then I do the look, listen, and feel method look for chest movements, listen for breath sounds, and then feel the air coming from his or her mouth to your cheek. So yun, I mentioned that. And then for circulation, you check the skin color, capillary refill, carotid pulse. Then for disability, identify what caused the patient to be unconscious. If it's hypoxia, hypercapnia, or hyperperfusion, and then you check the level of consciousness of the patient using the AVPU method. So AVPU means alert, verbal, pain response, and unresponsive. And then I also mentioned the GCS scoring. So you give the details. So pinaghandaan ko talaga to, ni-review at memorize ko siya again because again, it's been a while. So need mag-review talaga. So memorize ko yun, and good thing hindi ko nakalimutan during the interview. So I mentioned all of these. Question number 5. Can you give an example when you have to assess patient with acute confusion, and what would you consider? So for this question, I mentioned that you need to check risk factors that have possibly caused the confusion, like head injury, medical history, like some vascular diseases, because there are vascular diseases that causes acute confusion, and then medication that they are taking. And then for interventions, I mentioned that the most important thing is safety. I mentioned examples like making sure the bed is lowered, side rails are up, and then there are no hazardous things near the patient. Question number 6. Patient is medically fit for discharge. As a nurse, what do you need to consider? So, medyo na ako nito, na struck kasi parang wala akong masyadong alam nito. So, the first thing I said is that I should make sure that there is a doctor's order for discharge. And then, patient has the capacity to continue the medications at home. And lastly is to check their vital signs and compare it with the initial if everything is normal na. So sa question na ito, parang na-feel ko na hindi sila masyadong satisfied. So I guess it's better if you search and add or look for the right answer. Question number 7. How would you identify patient is at risk for pressure ulcers? Medyo na-happy ako sa question na ito kasi napag-aralan ko talaga to, yung pressure ulcers. So I mentioned the risk factors ng pressure ulcers like immobility, insufficient food and fluid intake, because of course that will affect skin integrity. And then incontinence, because moist also can affect or cause or increase the risk of bed sore. And then the lack of sensory perception. For intervention, of course, checking skin of the patient every day. If the patient cannot move, then the repositioning of the patient every 2 hours. Check or provide cushion on the bony prominences. And then adequate fluid and nutrition, and make sure that the patient is properly groomed, that the skin is dry and linens are clean. So, question number 8. Type 1 diabetes with daily insulin and has wound on leg. What care will you provide? Parang hindi ko kinomplete yung statement. Pero yun, if the patient has type 1 diabetes with daily insulin, and then you see that there's already a wound starting on one leg, what care will you provide? So, yung answer ko is check for the glucose level of the patient. Then, check if insulin is properly administered or verify. And then wound care, provide health teaching about wound care. Also, monitor their diets. Sorry if my Tagalog is not so good. Next, number 9. In a rehabilitation unit, patient is prescribed with regular analgesia for an injury. Patient can mobilize, but patient refuses analgesia and patient has not been mobilizing. What are your actions? So for this question, nakita ko na parang hindi siya masyadong satisfied, but I will still share what I answered. So ito yun. I will ask the patient the reason for the decline of the medicine. So, try to check if valid or invalid yung reason nila. If valid, they might have a personal reason. So, make sure you provide empathy. whatever the reason may be. And then I also mentioned that we need to check if there is any new injury. Check pain. Check the pain level of the patient. We can use the PQRST method. Lagay ko dito yung PQRST method. Yun! So, yun. Medyo nakabantay ko na they are not quite satisfied with that answer. So, just make sure you search also and add more. And for question number 10, which was the final question, what are the underlying principles of good record keeping? So, isa din yun sa mga pinag-review ng agent sa akin. CAT-LAP, that's the mnemonic. So, C for complete, A for accurate, T for time-bounded, L for legible, A for accessible, and T for transparent. So, I mentioned that, and then I also mentioned yung if magka-error, anong gagawin. So, just draw a line, put error, and then sign with your name and position. Yun! And that was it. May mga topics na pina-review sa akin ng agent ko, and then I will post it here. These are the topics na na-review ko before napasalang sa interview. And again, it's different with every employer. So, yun sa akin is for community health nurse. Honestly, after the interview, I felt na parang hindi papasa kasi checking the reactions, parang nag-approve or parang nasayahan lang sila sa at least 3 questions na sinagot ko. Yung iba medyo KK lang. So, I was not really expecting na makakapasa ako. So, thank you, Lord. So, that means this might really be for me. So, hopefully I have helped you. Hopefully I've helped you a lot. So, just prepare and then try to review these topics also. Make sure you just read the yung risk factors and then yung interventions na gagawin. Yun ang pinaka-importante. Kasi medyo madami sila. So, nung nag-review ako, medyo na-overwhelmed din ako kasi I was only given a week na binigyan ako ng schedule for the interview. So, yun, nag-cramming and then I was still working. So, hindi ko talaga siya natutukan masyado kasi after work, kapoy na. So, sleep na yun. So, at least, I think, nag-leave ako a day before the interview para mag-cramming for at least ready. But it was really nerve-wracking. Pero, mababait sila. Yung nag-interview sa akin is so kind. There were times na if yun, na-mention ko na medyo hindi sila satisfied sa answer. So, they give me clues on what they are asking, on what they really want to get from you. So, yun. So that's about it. And then, the next vlog, hopefully, nandito pa rin kayo. So, please subscribe. I will also try to vlog my IOM and yung medical na gagawin sa Manila, sa Makati. So, I will also try to vlog that. Next week na yung travel ko. So, we'll see. And you'll see. If mag-subscribe kayo, then you will see it. So, yun. Thank you again for your time and for watching. Hopefully, you subscribe and hopefully, you will be with me in my journey to being a UKRN very, very soon. And hopefully we will see each other there. Thank you, everyone. See you on my next vlog.